Key point 1. The key to unlocking your true power. What comes to mind when you hear well-being? Sport, a diet, financial security? Indeed, they are essential components. Yet there's one more crucial but often neglected aspect: improving personal reality. Imagine two colleagues on their way to work. They have stable societal positions, happy families, and the same job responsibilities. But one feels frustrated by the fear of making mistakes at work, while the other can't wait to test themselves in new challenges. Their tasks are, in fact, identical, but their personal realities seem entirely different. Each day, you decide whether to tap into or block your infinite potential. Perceptions of situations are just one example of your power in shaping your life. The key to this might is self-awareness. Moreover, by combining it with a connection to your true self, you can significantly promote your well-being and become a metahuman. So, if you strive to eliminate self-imposed limitations and second-hand assumptions, join this spiritual retreat and discover a way to listen to yourself and improve your life. Key point 2. Science can't explain everything. We all live in the age of reason. The authority of scientists seems unshakable, while rationality is the lens through which we evaluate the world. Indeed, breakthroughs in different fields paved the way for unbelievable technology that significantly improved our quality of life. However, a triumph of reason also has a dark side. Like potent weapons, so nothing is ideal. It means we should take even widespread notions with a pinch of salt. Consider, for instance, a statement that genes determine humans. According to Deepak Chopra, less than 6% of disease-related genetic mutations ensure specific health problems. In most cases, genes can just increase or decrease risks. What about the influence of our beliefs on health? In 2018, Stanford University scholars conducted an experiment and checked participants' levels of leptin, a hormone that indicates satiety. Scientists tested it again later, but this time, they randomly told some participants that they had the gene that decreased their chances of being overweight. Whether people had this gene or not, their levels of leptin increased by more than twice, making them feel full after less food intake. At the same time, participants who were told they had the gene that might worsen their performance in sports had lesser lung capacity after exercising than usual. Your thoughts and beliefs are as essential as material things. Moreover, equaling the brain and mind is another misconception. An fMRI scanner may show that two people have the same brain activity while writing a poem. However, it doesn't explain why the first person's results would be mediocre, whereas another one's would be genius. Science tends to disregard the fact that searching for truth or life meaning isn't something biological. Similarly, molecules of our cells don't determine why we consider something pleasant, prefer tea over coffee, or relish classical music. The self does. Researchers must finally admit it. No matter how profound the theory of evolution is, it can't thoroughly explain our sense of self that transcends physical needs. Yet, if it goes beyond the material world, why aren't we already metahumans? Let's look closer at personal reality and the roots of limitations. Key point 3. Attachment we should be wary of. To dive into the formation of our worldview, let's recall how we take photos. After noticing something interesting, we put it into focus, soften the background, choose a good angle, and click the button. The human ego follows a similar procedure to create personal reality. It continuously concentrates on aspects related to the sense of security and self-worth, blurring everything else. What exactly does it mean? As being a part of a bigger group is a time-tested ticket to survival, the ego will go to great lengths to ensure we are accepted in society. One by one, a shared group's beliefs and assumptions may become a part of us, laying the foundation of our self-image. Its next layers stem from our crucial decisions, experiences, and life events. To discover who you really are, you must go beyond who you think you are. Deepak Chopra. In a nutshell, self-image is reflected in words after the phrase "I am," like our character traits, job, and status. All the beliefs that underlie these characteristics direct our attention and interpretation of events, constructing personal reality. Indeed, it helps us understand what is happening in the world, Yet, at the same time, we attach ourselves to these characteristics, which may lead to hostility toward opposite opinions and self-imposed limitations. Like a photograph captures only part of reality, clinging to what constitutes our image disregards many opportunities. For instance, when someone asks us to attend dance classes, we may think, "I'm not the right person for this." Or our ego may remind us of similar cases when we failed, aiming to prevent it from happening again. Yet, each attempt is different. You strengthen the aspects you pay attention to. How can we weaken the grasp of our self-image? Here are a few exercises. Craft unique thoughts that don't spring from what you've read, heard, or experienced. Create a table with 4 columns. In the first column, list aims that seem impossible to reach. In the second, give reasons why not. Then, in the third one, identify beliefs that stand behind each cause. In the fourth, try to question them. Key point 4. The space where past, present, and future meet. Dealing with ego has a trick. Whether we say its effect is beneficial or harmful, it would be an ego statement. So instead of coping with it directly, we should look beyond it, at consciousness. It's our indispensable and the most mysterious part. Scientists still can't determine how it's formed. Chopra believes that's because consciousness is the beginning of everything. Through it, we can access meta-reality that lies outside the material world. In a sense, it resembles the cloud that contains all ideas from the past, present, and future, which makes it a source of infinite creativity. Everything is interconnected, so each of your deeds counts. We needn't go back in time to see more examples of connecting to this cloud. In an interview with Chopra, a modern math genius who made breakthroughs at age 12 unintentionally confirmed how meta-reality works. He explained that instead of doing calculations to find a result, he just asked himself a problem question, kept it at the back of his mind, and soon the answer appeared. However exceptional it may sound, this experience is more common than it seems. Have you ever seen someone for the first time and known they're your future spouse? Or at 14, did you know what you wanted to do for the rest of your life? These are all messages from consciousness that guide our path. Similarly, it orchestrates everything in the universe. The life of the red knot is a vivid example of this statement. This bird breeds in the Canadian Arctic and winters in the southernmost regions of Argentina and Chile. Migrating, red knots take a break in Delaware Bay on the east coast of the United States. They arrive there precisely when horseshoe crabs have laid their eggs, which become food for birds. The eggs will hatch if red knots are late by a week, undermining the bird's survival. So the timing of all these processes is far from coincidental. Did you know, although the wingspans of red knots are around 50 centimeters, during life they fly almost 390,000 kilometers, the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Key point 5. True self leads to true happiness. We all experience the connection with meta-reality in exceptional cases, like inventing something new or having insights that encourage us to change direction in life. The good news is we can make this connection last longer by using a method known as the direct path. It rests on the notion that, except ego personality, there are 2 more versions of self. Unconscious self. Although it's typically associated with bottled negative emotions and hidden desires, the truth is much more positive. It's a source of inventiveness and intuition. For instance, it allows us to understand what places or people are ours and where we'll feel like a fish out of water. True self. This is a level of genuine fulfillment. Being in harmony with our true self means concentrating on the fact that we are, not who we are. In other words, instead of searching for happiness in becoming someone or gaining something, we appreciate our existence in the world. It doesn't mean we should abandon all ambitions and settle for what we have. We can continue working toward our aims, but feel valued and fulfilled at any point on this path. The ego always wants more, making satisfaction elusive. 3 versions of self are interconnected. Any of them may become dominant at different times, influencing how we perceive life. For example, the fight or flight mode is essential for the ego, while the true self lets us feel we are a unique and indispensable part of this world. It makes the latter a vital component of the direct path. Direct in the name doesn't mean fast, yet at the same time it rejects stereotypes of waking up as confusing and arduous. Chopra believes that what can make a journey to metahuman difficult are wrong expectations, such as the following. Assuming you know where the path of waking up will take you. Aiming to become the one whom others perceive with awe and admiration. Wishing that meta-reality would make all challenges disappear. We should replace these expectations with striving to be real and achieve personal freedom. This motivation will help us set out the direct path. Key point 6. Step-by-step guide toward metahuman. The first checkpoint of the direct path is to base self-image on the phrase, I am. We should identify with existence instead of attaching ourselves to some essential but inevitably limiting traits. It allows us to accept all aspects of our personality and see ourselves as a part of the whole. The here and now principle is the only way to be genuinely present in life. The second step is paying attention to the sense of self. To train this skill, we can use the following exercise. Let's imagine we attend some debating club on firearms regulation or legalizing drugs. We should express our opinion on these issues and then give arguments in support of the opposite point of view. This exercise helps us notice that the self remains the same, even when we convey opposite ideas. The third essential skill is becoming more aware of the body, which comprises countless simultaneous processes. For instance, the epidermis cells, or top layers of the skin, renew themselves regularly. The speed of this process depends on age. It lasts around 2 weeks for babies, while it takes longer in middle age, around 28 to 42 days. These simple exercises will help to increase awareness of the body. Breathe slower or faster and observe how it influences your heartbeat. Close your eyes and focus on sensations in your body, like stiff or relaxed shoulders. The fourth step is harnessing the power of the mind. Ideally, we should be masters of our attention, directing it toward our intentions or higher purpose, and noticing wrong ego statements. Yet, our mind is usually filled with thoughts that lead in different directions and evoke emotions that cloud judgments. This exercise helps us to improve attention control. Just after you wake up, look at the ceiling for a minute. Avoid the temptation to close your eyes or entertain yourself with thoughts. The trick is to look at the ceiling before the ego launches its story, reminding us about today's agenda. The only real necessity is to be here now and allow life to unfold. Deepak Chopra. Conclusion. The mentioned principles are just information. Practice will turn them into knowledge. With time, they will become your experience. Although the path to being a metahuman isn't fast, you'll feel other benefits right away. Valuing yourself more and depending less on external rewards. Getting better at recognizing your beliefs from second-hand assumptions. Connecting with reality by living in the here and now. Feeling fulfillment more often and for longer. Another crucial advantage is to see more opportunities in life. Experts in wine and perfumes train their senses to recognize hundreds of tastes and smells unknown to non-professionals. Similarly, you can open many doors that the majority doesn't see, simply by consciously searching for them. Train your attention for opportunities. Try this. Watch the video Releasing a Stranded Octopus, and It Thanked Me on YouTube to get inspired by how conscious nature is. Take the online Neti questionnaire to discover more about spiritual traits and yourself. And introduce a direct method into your weekly schedule.